Welcome everyone to CTO's magazine series of one-on-one interviews with CTOs, data leaders, and key influencers. I'm your host, Robert Lutton, Vice President Central Consultants, and I'm coming to you today from Toronto, Canada, working with the CTO magazine, MIT CTO IQ Symposium, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers. Today, I'd like to introduce Lalit Wadhwa, who is the Executive Vice President and Chief Technology Officer at Encora Inc. Welcome, Lalit.
Thank you very much, Robert. It's a pleasure to meet you and looking forward to our conversation.
It is a pleasure as well from ours. But what we normally do is we normally start with a couple of background questions to get people a little bit more familiar with both you and Encora. Now, I noticed that when I was reviewing your bio, that you have an outstanding track record in advanced analytics. In fact, most of your career has been in and around advanced analytics. Can I ask, what's drawn you to this field?
Right. So, Robert, number one, thank you very much for the kind words. So largely my interest is driven, I think, by two factors. And, these are questions that I ask myself. So not a surprise that, anybody who looks at my resume or my profile on LinkedIn would probably ask this question. So the first is, for about 15 odd years, I have built and run businesses. And, I've had a sales leadership role, a business unit leadership role, global supply chain leadership roles, and global operations roles, billion-dollar businesses. And one of the things that I noticed during this entire journey was how little data was available and how that lack of timely data impacted decision-making. And of course, in turn, impacted the outcomes in every part of the value chain. So, whether you are looking at a procurement function or an inventory function or logistics function, sales, reverse logistics, returns, in each of these aspects, the amount of data was very meager. And along with that, it was extremely laborious to go ahead and collect the data, believe in that data. It was very easy to go ahead and point out and say, nope, this data is out of bounds. You got your numbers wrong. And, you would frequently be imputing data because there'll be missing data in what you have gone ahead and collected. And the data simply was not structured for the purposes that you wanted to go ahead and work with. And so that probably drove some of my interest in building out a competency, a skill set around advanced analytics. I think the other is I started my career as an engineer, a hardware engineer. And, math, physics, working with numbers, coding, all of these came reasonably naturally to me. So I always maintained that interest around the engineering piece, combined with some of the deficiencies I saw around decision-making in my business experience, I think led me towards this field of data and analytics. And then about 5.5 years ago, the company I was working with, I was fortunate enough to go ahead and get an opportunity with the company to go ahead and lead cloud-driven innovation around data monetization, artificial intelligence, building the machine learning platform, intelligent automation, blockchain. So, all of those factors actually came to play. I was able to go ahead and test everything that I had learned through certifications or through my experience. And that probably led to building this competency today. So probably a slightly longer answer than what you were looking for, but I just wanted to go ahead and give you the entire scope.
I love to hear the story because it's great to have people who come from a technical engineering background, but yet realize that the world of data, that we are in a world of data, and the data runs all decisions. I really love the your journey and explain your journey. So don't worry about that. We can this is again learning more about you. Now, I noticed that you're now working for a corporation called Encora. So if you could give us a little bit more information about Encora and perhaps some of the value propositions that Encora offers to the clients that you serve.
Sure. So, Robert, Encora at its heart is a software engineering and a product engineering company in a space that we call outsourced product development, or OPD. And largely what this means is that companies in this space, including Encora, which is a leader in this space, they partner fast-growing tech companies. So It's not across the board. Encora has certain competencies. So these competencies are in health tech, fintech, could be edtech, travel, hospitality, supply chain and logistics. So there are 7 or 8 markets where Encora has deep vertical competencies. In fact, there are micro verticals within these industries where Encora has gone ahead and built competencies around business process, around trends in these industries, around what are the processes that run within these industries. And then at the same time, it's built horizontal competencies around technology. So cloud services, data science and engineering, DevOps, agile frameworks, product engineering. So 8 or 9 core competencies which are technical in nature. And it's a convergence of these micro verticals and these horizontal competencies that Encora goes ahead and works with client in terms of accelerating their innovation. Now, I think it's a very loaded phrase, accelerating innovation. So just want to take about a minute to go ahead and explain what that means. For Encora, This is about ensuring that we are partnering these clients through the end-to-end innovation process. So right from ideation to concept, to proof of value, to development, to design, reiterating it, testing, QA, deployment, maintaining it, and then basically repeating the cycle all over again if you are in an agile CI/CD kind of environment. So it is partnering our clients around innovation, delivery of innovation, innovative experiences for their end clients, and deploying innovative processes and innovative technologies in service of that pursuit which Encora focuses on. And there are 2 key vehicles which we go ahead and leverage to deliver those value propositions. So the first is what we refer to internally as technology practices. So very simply, these are centers of excellence. Around 8 or 10 technologies, core expertise. We have innovation leaders, we have innovation experts who understand the technology inside out, partner with the vendors for some of the key technologies, and go ahead and drive this innovation process while understanding completely well the business processes in the vertical that they are operating in. The second vehicle to go ahead and drive this entire value proposition is what we refer to as EDC, or an extended delivery center. And Robert, the extended delivery center is basically a concept that has been put together to address 4 key, I would say, issues that clients face when they go ahead and outsource product development. So number 1, clients absolutely want to be sure that proprietary IP is not leaking out. So that solution has to be figured out. Number 2, clients want some degree of stability with the people that they are going to work with in this outsource model. Now, if you're in a project kind of a model, every 6 or 8 months, you go ahead and change people, and the client has to go ahead and repeat that process of explaining one more time what is it that they're doing. And frankly, if I was the client, I would simply not like it. I don't believe it's a valuable use of our time. I think the third issue that we hear our clients tell again and again is they want people to be engaged in their culture. They want people to understand the company's culture, because the fact is the culture of the company drives engineering practices and frankly drives the quality of the output that any engineering team goes ahead and generates. And the final piece that clients ask us again and again is, what is the governance model? How will we ensure together that what is supposed to be done is done? So, through a daily, weekly, or monthly governance process at different levels within the client, there is a very standardized process that we go ahead and take to the market. So a combination of these 4 very loosely is termed as what we call as extended delivery centers. Frankly, there are no projects that we do. These are engagements which begin at 4 years at a minimum and can last 8, 10, 12 years kind of durations.